Welcome everyone to Workers Arena here in Goulburn. I'm James Robertson. I will be your caller for this morning's contest. We've got the ladies' league tag to kick things off here today between the Illawarra South Coast Dragons and the GSR West Tigers. The West Tigers, they got a great victory last week in Wagga Wagga, 40 points to 8 over against the Monaro Colts. We'll run through their side to start off proceedings. Maria Barcenas, a newcomer to the side. She's at fullback. On the wings, Brianne Stewart and Abby Church. In the centres, Amy Byrne and Angelica Angeles. In the halves, Brooke Anderson and Nikki Perringini. In the front row, Gemma Crane, Kimberly Stevens, Tennille Lee, and the back row, Casey Ledbrook, Abby Gillum, Corrine Mears. On the bench, Phoebe Anduton, Karina Brightwell, and Renee Fidel. You see the Illawarra South Coast Dragons coming out onto the field, as well as the GSR West Tigers. The Dragons side is as follows: Bronte Girdler in 1, Olivia Patterson, Shayla Katia Tupp, Alira Simon, Bree Ford, Georgia Thomas, Carly Ryan, Brooke Smith, Cheyenne Hatch, Amy Barnard, Kayla Thomas, Caitlin O'Neill, Ebony Murray, Tanika O'Brien, and Jamie Emerson. That is in number order 1 through 15. The coach is John Simon, and the coach of the GSR West Tigers is Robbie Mears. The referee for today's contest is Ryan Micallef. The touch judges Jack McKay and Ryan Sweeney.
Good to set out.
Just going back and having a look at some of the contests that have happened in the Southern Pool. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons defeating the Western Rams 24 points to 18 to get through to this semi-final. And like we said, the GSR West Tigers successful, 40 points to 8 last week in Wagga Wagga. Some say that the semi-final is more important in preparation for the final, the harder game at hand. And we are underway, kicked off by Brooke Anderson. One of these two teams are going to go through and play the final. The venue yet to be decided. But I'm sure we're going to see a great game of league tag here today with the ladies of the country championships. So 30 metres away. No numbering, but I'm sure we'll get by here this morning. Enterprising play to start off. Nice cut-out ball and a good tag there. That's Amy Byrne. Fantastic last week, got a try for herself. Nice kick down, and it seems like Abby Church from Camden has gone to the fullback position, and she uses her light footwork like she did last week. And a good start to proceedings here from the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. You'll notice the number 11, Casey Ledbrook, also on the wing. So a few positional changes for the West Tigers, looking to change things up, maybe catch the South Coast Dragons off guard, and a nice interchange of passing there. The orange cones, that is where halfway will be. A nice early kick here from Brooke Anderson. Sort of spinning like a Beyblade there, not end over end. as you'll typically find, but nicely taken there by Lyra Simon, and a good tag there again. Amy Byrne early in the action. So an early start from both sides. Good to see, but an error there from the Dragons, gifting GSL West Tigers a premier opportunity to get the scoring underway here. Shift through the hands. They look to have an overlap. Amy Byrne, nice pass, and it's the number 11, Casey Ledbrook from Narellan, scores in the corner. Try to open things here. It's 4 points to 0.
Anything, fellas? Is there anything?
Now, we'll do my best to keep track of the goal scorers as well here. Mixture of goal scorers last week. Everyone getting a crack. It looks like it might be Brooke Anderson to take the first shot at goal. It's quite a difficult angle. In fact, it's Gemma Crane, also from Narellan. A lot of Narellan talent here today. Amy Byrne, Gemma Crane, Tennille Leet, Casey Ledbrook, the try scorer, Karina Brightwell as well. So definitely some combinations there that will be all too familiar for the GSL West Tigers. There doesn't seem to be any noticeable breeze. So if she aims at the right upright for a right foot goal kicker, oh well, a good attempt, but an unsuccessful conversion there. 4 points to 0 remains the score.
Conversion unsuccessful by number 8, Gemma Crane, with the score at 4.
On it, girls. Stay behind!
Unfortunately enough, unlike last week in Wagga Wagga, we have a scoreboard, so I can tell how many minutes there are left instead of guessing. But the number 14 in Phoebe Ann Dutton, unfortunately knocking it on, and that'll give the South Coast Dragons a prime scoring opportunity. But will they look to consolidate? Here's Girdler. A lot of Shell Harbour girls here in the South Coast Dragons lineup. Nice turn on the back, or back on the inside rather, as they look to spread the football.
Never retreated.
Nice tag, but she was in fact offside. The number 12, Abby Gillum. Penalty called by Ryan Micallef.
Yeah, when you're ready. Yep.
What are the Dragons going to do here? They tap and run through the 10. Amy Barnard.
On the line, hold. Go one.
A full set on the line here of the GSL West Tigers. Nice dummy and run, a bit of speed, but she was in fact tagged, Carly Ryan. They do have the numbers here to the left though, the South Coast Dragons. A dummy and run. Perhaps a string of passes was the play they were looking for there, but they come to the right-hand side and a brilliant tag there, Abby Gillum. It was the number 12, excellent tag there. Not the last, so they still have an opportunity, but it will be the last now. Left-hand side they come. Cross-field kick they look for, but taken very safely out there by the winger. Might have been Brianne Stewart out there in jersey 2. So a tap on the 20 for the GSL West Tigers. They defend the pressure there. They look to do something with the ball through Gillum. Gemma Crane operating out of dummy half. Nice pass, but a good tag again. Brooke Smith making the tag on Amy Byrne. Speedster like we saw last week out of Wagga Wagga.
Tag, keep coming. Go three, good.
But looking to keep things safe at the moment. Nice dummy, but excellent tag again. Gillum is a danger when she gets out into the open pasture. Kick here again by Anderson. Finds open grass, an awkward bounce. Neat pick up there from the winger. In fact, it'll be Bronte Girdler who seems to go out to that left wing. So the Tigers will look to work off the back of their defence after a pretty good set. 4 points the score, almost a break in play there. Amy Barnard tried to get through. But again, Amy Byrne, good defensively. Getting that, making that right tag. Trying to rip that right tag off. And doing it very well. Offload. Called backwards, play on. They've got an overlap out here. All they did, but poor number 10, Amy Barnard, still tying her shoelace. Last tackle. Going to see a kick downfield. Sort of a torpedo punt. Chasing down there is Casey Ledbrook, the lone try scorer so far. Looking for support. Abby Church will go back into dummy half and do some work from there. Excellent tag from the number 7, Carly Ryan. Asked to play the ball on the mark. We've got the numbers down the short side. Again, a missed tag there from the Dragons. And again, nice light footwork. Seems to have Vaseline on her at the moment. She's slipping off tags. Through the hands, nice run around. It worked for them last week and well sought out after there. Gillum again was looking for a break in an open space. A dummy from Anderson, nice little grubber, but picked up there by the 10. And she's going to pass it away, and they look to go on the counter-attack. And now she's out in open space. Bronte Girdler, is it? No. The 4, Lyra Simon. So she's the woman playing at fullback, or playing at the back here for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. They're going to have to tag well here if they're going to end the onslaught here of the South Coast Dragons with some good field position. Good back and forth contest to open proceedings. Through the left hand, and now it's the number 3, Shayla Kutia Cup, looking for the line. And it's going to be a penalty here for the South Coast Dragons. A bit of contact there found by the referee, so a fresh set of tags here for the South Coast Dragons. And a great opportunity to score a try and, oh, well, a knock onto the play. The ball, unfortunately, it was Jamie Emerson just thinking about what she was going to do before she picked up the ball to pass it, or perhaps she was going for a scoop from dummy half to go over. And again, the Tigers' defence, very good. There's Abby Church trying to help out these middle players here for the GSL West Tigers. And again, Gillum looks to be a go-to. Her and Ledbrook out on this left edge. Here's Angelise. Didn't play last week in Wagga Wagga, but included in the side today. Nice kick, and it is Gemma Crane who is doing majority of the kicking here this morning for the West Tigers. Nice kick and a good chase and a brilliant tag there. Casey Ledbrook again, leading by example. Seems to be in everything. She scored a try and she's been very good defensively. Looking to catch the marker offside there was Jamie Emerson, trying to make up for that error. Now here's Carly Ryan.
Marcus, stay square.
Excuse me, the halfway is in between the 2 orange witches hats on either side of the ground. Nice chip over the top, but it's taken there by the woman at fullback, the number 5, and we know she's got pace, Abby Church. In fact, she's been tagged. A bit hard to see sometimes, but a good tag and a well-needed tag there. Otherwise, she was in open space and possibly underneath the sticks for another 4 points for the Tigers. Anderson. Quick play the ball. Overlap on this left-hand side, straight through, but no, again, another tag. They've been efficient tagging, have the Dragons. Still 4 points to nil with a little over 14 minutes to go until halftime, so 10 minutes being played here. Very enterprising, not a lot of errors being made by both sides. And again, the tagging ability of the Dragons has been so good, especially through this middle third of the field. Here's Gemma Crane kicks, trying to find touch, and taken there by Bree Ford of Berry Shoalhaven Heads.
Marcus won't square.
Marker not square there. Maria Barcinas, a little too eager on that play. I'll look for a kick for touch and get a fresh set of tags and look to go on the attack here. It has been enterprising football, side-to-side stuff. Everyone wanting to get involved
No, in line with the touch.
and not tapping it on the mark.
Take a step. Hold.
Bree Ford seeming a bit too eager as well. But here she goes up to the 40-metre line. Nice quick play the ball. Everyone stacked to this left-hand side for the Dragons.
Watch the short.
Trying to muscle her way out of a tag if you can. And through the hands of that nice turn back on the inside. We've seen that from the 4 teams we've seen in the Southern Pool through this Ladies League tag competition. And that's going to be called a knock-on. So Lyra Simon, unfortunately coughing up possession, but the Tigers inside their own half still. A lot of football being played in this middle third. Just waiting for a team to break through. That could have been the play there. But Karina Brightwell tagged, and unfortunately another knock on.
When you're ready.
So just waiting for one of these 2 teams to grab the opportunity, grab the ball and run with it.
Go 1. 2. Marcus Square.
Barnard playing the football.
2.
They have 3-on-3 on this left-hand side, and Anderson's going to be called offside there by the official. So they've been given a few penalties away, the GSR West Tigers. It's given the Dragons some, or at least the ball made it out into touch. But they have had a few opportunities out here, the Dragons, inside the half of the West Tigers. Probably a bit more than the West Tigers have had. But the Tigers there, one opportunity they did have inside the half of the Dragons, they took it and scored opening points. But here we see a shift to the left, and perhaps some points here for the Dragons. Good tag out there on the far side. Bronte Girdler with the ball. And, oh, she's gone into touch. Thought she might have been tagged beforehand. Lyra Simon running out into touch. As the clouds seem to come in, cover up the sun. It's getting a bit chilly here at the Workers Arena here in Goulburn. But still some good league tag being played here with the ladies. Nice dummy and run there from the number 8. Gemma Crane from Norellan. Dummy and run seems to be the thing here as Ledbrook going back in towards the middle of the field. Here's the kick from Brightwell. One of those tricky ones, had to take her eyes off it for a moment. And Girl has been tagged 40 metres out from her own line. So this is where a lot of the ball has been in regards to both teams. Not a lot of possession inside each other's 20. And now an open break there from the 4, Lyra Simon. But they haven't yet capitalised. Good pass from the halfback, but again, unfortunately, brought down there by the Dragons. And the Tigers again going to get possession. We've seen some good defence, nice tagging, and some pressure. An offload made there by the 11. Didn't realise she was not tagged. And almost the same case there as Anduton tried to run away. So just going through the motions, it seems. Which team is going to break at the moment? Here's Anderson, double pump, and a good tag again. Ripping off both tags on that occasion was Tanika O'Brien. Kick cross field from Anderson. Well under it was Bronte Girdler. Now she looks to use her footwork and get around the winger, which she does there in Angeles, but Brienne Stewart was out there to help her out.
Keep working slow. Still got it.
Just 9 minutes remaining in this first half and still 4 points to nil. So even if it is a 4-0 scoreline, the Dragons can be happy with their defensive effort. Perhaps both teams looking for a bit more in attack. But it has been hard to get things going. Good defensive set there from the GSR West Tigers. Here comes the long kick. Looked like Carly Ryan getting that boot away, and here is Ledbrook, the lone try scorer here today. Missed tag there, and it is Maria Barcinas trying to get through. Good tag. Ebony Murray, Anderson, Nice run around. It worked for them last week in Wagga Wagga. And here goes Abby Church. Speed gets around the number 4. Is she going to make it? Great tag there. Cheyenne Hatch with a try saver. Out to the left-hand side. They're shot for numbers here. They've still got an opportunity out here to the left. That's the side they come. They just need to shift it through their hands. They turn it back on the inside. They still have the numbers, surely. A dummy, no. But it is the number 3 off the back of an enterprising play. Started off from Maria Barcinas and Abby Byrne. She touches down and gets the second try for the GSR West Tigers, 8 points to 0.
Watch the short girls, make sure you get a clean tag.
It was Barcinas, Church. Finishing off the play was Amy Byrne from Narellan. But nonetheless, a try scored here for the West Tigers. And 7 from the break. Well, dealing blow in such a low-scoring game. So Gemma Crane unsuccessful with her first conversion. This one a bit easier, just inside that outer tram line. Not a lot of wind to contend with, so hopefully she can slot this one over, and again, just away to the left-hand side. Thank goodness that's not my car. But 8 points to 0, a handy lead. It's such a tight contest, the West Tigers. But that rate came outside the 20. It was all down to the speed of Abby Church. So the winner of this game to go on and play the winner of the Northern Pool. That game happening today will be live as a nice kick. Perhaps it's gone backwards. The Tigers do get the football. And maybe a quick raid with 6 to go to get another try. Here's Angelica Angelis, who was tagged before she passed it. As I was saying, Greater Northern Tigers, Central Coast Roosters. That's our other game on today. Both games streamed through Bar TV Sports on Facebook Live, so you can watch both games live, and a shepherd there, penalty. So a good opportunity here for the Dragons to score points before the break. For the winner of these two teams, the venue has not yet been decided, but they will go through and play the winner of the Northern Pool. And whoever it is, I'm sure we'll see a great contest. Look marginally forward there, but stopping. This is 7, Carly Ryan. Knew she was going to get penalised if she ran any further. They got the numbers out here to the left-hand side. Nice cut-out pass there. It comes to O'Brien. A little bit of a run around. That's the right-hand side. Again, good tag. Amy Byrne seemingly in everything as well. Interesting kick there. It's turned around. Good chase. A kick is only as good as its chase, and Carly Ryan didn't give up on that one. It's going to be a line drop out here for the GSR West Tigers. It was a very interesting kick out of dummy half, sort of short and shallow. The bounce got the fullback. The repeat set here for the Dragons. Ball knocked back there from Ebony Murray, but a fresh set of tags. Excellent tag again by the Tigers. Seeing a great display of tagging almost straight through was Lyra Simon. Trying to make up for a few earlier errors. Nice turn back on the inside, but Smith caught short again. 20 metres out. Left-hand side they come with Ryan. Gives it to the 6. In Thomas. That comes short side. They've got a 4-on-2 overlap. Are they going to use it? A dummy, a chip over the top. The ball's going to go dead. But no, it's taken dead there by Abby Church, averting all danger. And it's going to be another dropout with 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. 8 points to 0.
Stay behind the kick, girls. Stay behind.
The overlap out on the left-hand side, opted to go for the kick. Another repeat set, building pressure. They have to score points off the back of it if they're to take any momentum into half-time.
Here in the hole. Go one. Tag.
What can the Dragons conjure up here? A dummy to the left and a go to the right, and missed tags all around. Did she get tagged? No. Straight through the middle, Caitlin O'Neill from the Shell Harbour Stingrays. And put that down to a lot of possession down this end of the field. Finally converting a few line dropouts, a few forced line dropouts. And finally they get on the board.
I can't hear, mate. 12 and 3.
You have to credit the defence of the GSR West Tigers. It's been fantastic. It was so good last week, only the 8 points given up. Only conceding their first try of the half. But it had to come. 3 back-to-back sets. And Carly Ryan gets the first conversion of the day. And with 2 to go, the difference is 2 points. The GSR West Tigers lead 8 points to 6. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of our coverage here of the Ladies League Tag between the Illawarra South Coast Dragons and the GSR West Tigers. Our main event for today, the Monaro Colts. After a great win against the Riverina Bulls, they take on the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, the under-23s. And don't worry, big Tavita Aroha Tui Alvai is just itching to get out there, just as I'm itching to see him play. But what have the Dragons got for the final minute? Are they just going to go through the motions here? Or is there going to be one last attacking raid? And Barnard tag there. Here's Cheyenne Hatch. Good tag at the other end of the field. Good speed show there with Jamie Ellison. Pass good hands. Looking for an option was Georgia Thomas. Last tackle. And possibly their last possession of the half. Here's the kick from Carly Ryan, taken well there by Ledbrook. And again, a nice tag from Caitlin O'Neill. So 2 try scorers coming head to head. Barcenas. If you've seen the GSR West Tigers, you know they're going to go for an attacking raid. Amy Byrne, no. Another great tag there from the Dragons. Seem to like coming to this left-hand side. And why wouldn't you when you've got Amy Byrne out there? Probably our last play of the first half. A very loud siren and a very good first half of Ladies League Tag between these two teams. 8 points to 6. The West Tigers go into the break ahead by 2 points. The tries, Amy Byrne from Narellan and Casey Ledbrook also from Narellan. So the Narellan girls having a good day out here today. And the lone try scorer getting the Dragons back into this game. Caitlin O'Neill from Shell Harbour Stingrays and Carly Ryan converting that try. Making it 8 points to 6. I'm sure both the coaches are going to be very happy with what these girls have done here for the first half, giving us a very enterprising game of Ladies League Tag to watch. But don't go anywhere. Go grab a refreshment and come back for the second half of the Ladies League Tag. What a great first half that was. Two teams just looking to attack. Hopefully much the same here in this second half. Just before we kick off, we'd like to thank our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, which is our major sponsor here. Bar TV Sports allowing live streaming through Facebook Live. They are the provider, allowing you to watch this game live. And Victor Sports, another sponsor on board with us. But a great display of league tag here so far today. In the other game, it is the Central Coast Roosters at halftime leading the Greater Northern Tigers 6 points to 2, but we're underway here for the second half. A short-ish kickoff looking for the sideline. And touched there by the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. So play the ball infield about 25 metres out from their own line. The GSR West Tigers, an early opportunity. Excuse me. An early opportunity for the South Coast Dragons. But couldn't come up with the ball. What GSR West Tigers are we going to see? Well, a lost football. And now the Dragons can go on the attack. So we saw this early in the first half, but from the Tigers. Nice cut-out pass there and a good run. Brooke Smith, it looks to be, out there on that right-hand edge. She'll play it 10 metres out as they come through the hands. Here's Kayla Thomas. Look to spread it here to the left. Ryan, nice pass, a dummy on the inside rather, and a tag. Another penalty here for the South Coast Dragons. Some players on the deck. Let's hope they're both all right. Carly Ryan being one of them. She was the woman penalised. And time has been blown off. But a great opportunity there from the Dragons. We saw it from the West Tigers early in the first half. Led to the try for Casey Ledbrook. The first try we'd see for a while. The Dragons unable to capitalise on that early opportunity here in the second half. We'll try and get some information as to the player down on the ground. Trainers with her at the moment. The number 1, Maria Barcinas, looking to come on from Oran Park. And thankfully, the sun poking its head out. Starting to get rather chilly there for a second. The sun has come out and good second half awaits us. So Barcinas going on the field, a penalty to the West Tigers. We'll try and get information, like I said, and see who that player is that came off. But meanwhile, the GSR West Tigers, yeah, it's going to be a penalty there for contact. And opting to go for the tap restart again. Good tag there from Georgia Thomas. Thought there might have been another penalty for contact. The Tigers trying to work it away from their own end. Just was unable to see that player that went off injured. But let's hope they're all right. The GSR West Tigers possibly down to one less on their reserves benches. A nice kick away there. Handy bounce though for Simon. As the Dragons try and make a break there. Was mistagged. Bonzi Girdler trying to break out into the open pasture, but a nice tag. Has been the story of the day for the GSR West Tigers and the story of this tournament. Scored 40 points last week, but their defence just as impressive. So one halfway, over halfway now. Just taking the tag there as the last tackle comes. It's Georgia Thomas trying to reef a kick downfield. And it will come to Maria Barcinas.
Tag, mate. Hold.
Trying to step and weave her way around defenders. Here's Gillum.
Keep working. Hold. Go, 2.
Nice pass from dummy half there from Brightwell. And now some footwork used. No support,
Tag there.
but a great run there from Ledbrook. Back on that left-hand edge. So damaging with her running. Barcenas
Hold it, 4. Go, 4.
now inside the Dragons' territory.
Got it, 5.
Tried to offload, but Brightwell somehow kept control of that. Here's Anderson. Not a lot of kicking from Perengini. Not too sure if she's out on the field at this present time, but 10 metres out from the line are the Illawarra South Coast Dragons.
Tag, mate.
And the Tigers will look to build pressure with their defence, as they have done.
Tag. Hold
And a
it.
nice tag there.
Hold.
Number 6, Brooke Anderson. Amy Barnard was just trying to beat her with a bit of footwork.
Go, 4.
And Dragons not really going anywhere here. They're 30 metres out, but a break could have been great there. But Alira Simon just couldn't get through. Last tackle, ball a bit high there for the half-back, Carly Ryan. The ball comes back to her from Kutia Tup, rather. And out of the right-hand side goes Casey Ledbrook. And a penalty for a bit of contact. So the Tigers dominating possession and field position early in the second half. Dragons would like their start over so far. As we see the number 8, Gemma Crane, make her way back onto the field. Here's Kimberly Stevens with a tap restart. Trying to go down that short side. Good tackle, tag rather, by Carly Ryan. Tags here in the Ladies League tag, tackling in the under-23s in our main event. Now through the hands of the GSR West Tigers, they look likely here. Nice step there, Amy Byrne. And again tagged. Unfortunately, good tag though. Again, the Dragons showing some fight here on the line. Where do they go to now? Through the hands, Anderson. Tried to turn someone on the inside. And well, the play, it opened up there, but just couldn't get the pass that she wanted. Stevens, unfortunately, putting it down. And the Dragons, they survive there. But who are the players that they're looking for? Carly Ryan, she's really been the only dangerous threat. Caitlin O'Neill, she did score the try. But someone from this Dragons side in such a close contest going to need to step up. Here is Georgia Thomas. Ryan again with the ball, a nice dummy. A missed tag. In fact, that is the try scorer, O'Neill. The only try scorer for the Dragons. Nice kick here from Carly Ryan, deep downfield, but under it was Amy Byrne. And a nice tag. Amy Barnard. So much the same of what we saw in the first half. 7 minutes gone almost, and just very back and forth. Nice run around. It's worked for them time and time again. But again, a nice tag there. Is that 12 on 12? O'Neill on Abby Gillum. Here's the dummy from Gemma Crane. Another nice dummy and run. A bit more speed to hear from Brianne Stewart. Last tackle. Last tag. You call rugby league for years and years and come into a new environment, Ladies League tag. It's an exciting environment, but that's not so exciting from the Dragons, unfortunately making an error. And the West Tigers, prime position to either build pressure or score a try to go further in front. Here's Barcenas. They come the short side. Nice pass and going over in the corner. No, she was tagged, Amy Byrne. I thought she was over, but again, great goal line defence here from the Dragons. Straight through, and again, These tags at the goal line, these are the tags that you want to make. Through the hands, they look to have the overlap. Are they going to use it? Through the hands, number 14, no, forward pass. It was Gillum and Dutton. Looked to be over in the corner, but the forward pass undoing that magical play. And again, story of the second half, the Dragons holding up with their defence and surviving. But what left do they have in the tank to offer in offence? A lot of ball being down this end of the field. They need someone to step up, and maybe this is the play out here. Fullback to beat here. The number 10, Amy Barnard, beats the fullback. Has she got the speed to go all the way? She's been mistagged once again at Barcinas. Cover defence, no support players, but there's still plays left in the tank. Nice dummy run, Kayla Thomas. It was inevitable at that point. Started from the great run from Amy Barnard. Barcinas eventually with the tag, but Kayla Thomas from Jamboree, the number 11. Both back rowers going over. And the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, they hit the front. Well, it seemed like nothing was doing there for the Dragons, but Amy Barnard with a break through the middle. And again, great cover defence. We've seen time again from the GSL West Tigers, but an overlap out to the right-hand side. A nice dummy from Kayla Thomas, and it was all she wrote. Now a 2-point lead that the Dragons hold. And Carly Ryan looking to extend that lead to 4. Unfortunately, just underneath the crossbar there, but it's a 2-point lead that they'd rather have than a 2-point deficit. 14.5 minutes to go in this Ladies League Tag semi-final. The winner of this game to take on the winner of the Central Coast Roosters and the Greater Northern Tigers at halftime. It was 6 points to 2. The Roosters leading the Northern Tigers. We'll try and get an update perhaps at full time and see which teams in the Ladies League Tag competition will go head-to-head in the final. The venue not decided yet. Nonetheless, I can assure you it's going to be a barn burner of a contest. But there still is hope for the GSL West Tigers. They've got 15 minutes to score more points and change this end result around. With the Dragons, they seem like they have a bit of fire. No pun intended. Aaliyah Simon. Quick play, the ball's good to see. Pass out, here's Ryan. Again, quick play the ball. They come out to the left-hand side once again. They look to have the numbers. And fortunately, she was tagged because I think there was a forward pass. And here is the kick from Ryan, leading by example. And, well, she's been error-free all day, Casey Ledbrook. Scored the opening try. But the Dragons, they have the momentum at the moment. There's Cheyenne Hatch. The Dragons come the short side. Holds it up. Good tag. But Emily Murray, dangerous with the ball in both hands. A dummy, a shimmer step. Just looking for a play out here to the right-hand side. Ryan through the hands of the halves. A nice step. But Caitlin O'Neill tagged. Thought it might have been a lost ball, but asked to play the ball back on the mark, back where she was tagged. Here's the kick from Ryan into the in goal. Is it going to go dead? No, it's going to be Amy Byrne who's going to have to take it. Abby Church, rather, and somehow gets out of the in goal. And an error, so now the pressure is on the GSL West Tigers. The pendulum has swung and the Dragons, well, breathing fire at the moment, as I said. You feel like another try is coming here for them. Right-hand side, perhaps the run around. faking the run around a dummy. Neither of it worked. Trying to take a play out of the GSL West Tigers playbook. Seem to have numbers here to the left-hand side. That's the side they come. Just running straight there with Cheyenne Hatch. She's got her hands on the football in the last couple of minutes. Ryan, kick into the in-goal, play that. It's going to be another repeat set here and the pressure building. They've been good defensively thus far in this competition. And this contest here today. But the Dragons with a try against the grain. So it seemed. Oh, good tag. This is where the good teams really do stand up. Goal line defence has been number one priority of both sides today. Through the hands. Ryan looking to go over and again tagged. Well done. Full tag. Through the hands, left-hand side. And Abby Church again working hard in defence. Last tackle. Ryan will be the go-to. A grubber kick picked up by the West Tigers. And they have 90 metres to travel if they want to score a try here. Brianne Stewart out of dummy half. Angelis. Now for Gillum. Looking just for a shift. As she looks the most likely Amy Byrne. She's already got a try next to her name. Just adds that bit of spark. But a good set defensively there from the Dragons. Here comes the kick. And it's a good kick and a good bounce. Alira Simon's going to have to work hard because here comes Maria Barcenas. She's got support there, but good tag Barcenas. And now the Tigers need to work off the back of this. The Dragons struggling to get back on side. Second tag and the pressure forced. It's going to be play on here for the Tigers. No. No play on, but a quick play the ball. Here's Angelis. Just need to calm things down here, the Tigers. They have a full set. They can use the football out to the short side. They come. And again, Amy Byrne. Not tagged. Been a threat. Was a threat last week in Wagga Wagga and gets a double here and puts the West Tigers back in front. Well, if anything, we've seen more enterprising play from both sides in this second half. We were treated in the first half, but they've stepped up a notch in such an important game. And Amy Byrne, a threat on that left-hand edge. It's been her and Casey Ledbrook. But Byrne the one to get the ball over the line. So the South Coast Dragons gathered behind the goal line. What could they be thinking? Got 2 tries, one pretty much against the run of play. Do they have another try left in them in the final 8 minutes? And here is Gemma Crane, unsuccessful with the first 2. This is probably the easiest of the lot. It has been a difficult day for conversions this morning. And unfortunately, again, waved away, but it's another 2-point lead. So several changes of the lead. And the Tigers going back in front by 2 points. But what are we going to see in the final 7.5 minutes here from the South Coast Dragons? Where are they going to get the tries from? Thomas and O'Neill. They're both those try scorers. Carly Ryan, the one that looks likely for mine, but the Tigers will start with the ball, and she's been mistagged there. Kimberly Stevens still going down the sideline. And tagged on halfway, so a great place to start possession. Here's Brianne Stewart. And there is Nikki Perangini on the field. So interchange of passing there from the 13, Corrine Mears, and Tanil Leet. Anderson. Now out again for Abbey Church. Two speedsters, Church and Byrne. And Byrne, I thought, was away again. Last tackle, 40 metres out. Come through, and that is a kick there from Mears. Looking for the tag, good step, but Brianne Stewart doing her job, keeping Bronte Girdler out of the thick of things. And if you look at the teams in this competition, the West Tigers, they've been the best defensively. Only let in the 2 tries last week. And perhaps that's what is going to get them over the line here, but we still have time left on the clock. Here's Ryan. Right foot kick down the ground. It's going to sit up friendly there for Abbey Church with some work to do, and now the GSL West Tigers, they need to get back. Some work needs to be done here for the 14 in Andooten, but tagged there by the marker. Anderson. Some nice footwork. Got away, Andooten. 35 metres out from her own line. Through the middle they come now with Tanil Lee. And, well, I think she was thinking about a kick there. Corrine Mears tried to drill it into touch. The thought crossed her mind and the ball popped out of her hands, gifting the Dragons an opportunity here on the left-hand edge. It's Murray who's tagged. 5 minutes you see in the scoreboard in the background. Thought a tag happened there in marker. Called play on there by the referee. Inside pass from Ryan. And contact there from the West Tigers. So a great penalty here. And a great opportunity here out in, right in front. About 23 metres out. Be the easiest of conversions for anyone today. And Carly Ryan opting to take the 2 points to level this one at 12 apiece. And the flags go side to side. So we'll see the unfamiliar 20-metre dropout here. And what I thought was a certain 2 points away to the right-hand side from Carly Ryan. But still 3.5 to go. Still time on the clock for the Dragons to steal this one from the Tigers. It's been back and forth all day. Here's O'Neill. Looking for support with Tanika O'Brien. No one up supporting. Ryan turns him on the inside. They're going to go to the edge of someone. O'Brien mistagged. Pass over the top but intercepted. Well done there. And guess who? Amy Byrne. And now looking for the counter-attack, but well, she's probably been the best on ground here today. 2 tries and possibly a game-winning interception. Still 3 minutes to go, still plenty of time. But it was a right-hand side raid, and Amy Byrne, the one finding the ball in her hands. And tagged there short. So 4th tackle, and here's Tanil Lee. They've got to drill this as far as they can, away from their own goal line. Perengini. Excuse me, that was Anderson, but he's Amy Barnard trying to gain any metres she can. They're going to have to go coast to coast at this point. 80 metres to travel. Ryan. What can the Illawarra South Coast Dragons come up with in the dying stages? Winner of this goes on to the final. The loser goes home empty-handed. through the hands, thought it might have been forward, and just tagged, just inside. She may have been out, and it might have been a tag that gives the Dragons good field position. Last tackle. Still a long way to travel, 45 metres. Ryan, long end over end kick. Fullback under it. Abby Church, well taken. 90 seconds to go. No errors needed here as Nduton breaks the tackle, and away she goes. Down the left-hand side, tagged. About 40 metres out. Surely they'll just go through the motions here. Good tag. Abby Church would have been underneath the six had it not been for that tag. Here's Anderson. So fourth tackle, short side rate, still looking to attack. And here goes Brianne Stewart. And there it is, last tag. 43 seconds. What's the option here? Just a grubber kick. And it's going to be a penalty. And quite possibly the penalty to win the GSR West Tigers, the Southern Pool. Just a string of passing, Perangini. The clock ticks down. 2 points the difference. Are they going to look for another try? Anderson. Just smart football at this point. Crane. Anderson. You will hear the siren. Last play, Peragini is tagged. But the GSR West Tigers can thank Amy Byrne rather for a double. And they go on to the final to play the winner of the Northern Pool between the Central Coast Roosters and the Greater Northern Tigers. What a contest we had here today. 12 points to 10. Going through the try scorers, Amy Byrne, as we said, with a double. Casey Ledbrook with a try also. Kayla Thomas and Caitlin O'Neill for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, the try scorers. Goal there from Carly Ryan. It went back and forth. Moments that changed the game, but at the end of the day, going through to the final of the Ladies League Tag competition. On one half is the GSR West Tigers. Great display here today, great attacking raids and great defence. Good overall game to watch. Good to see the two teams there shaking hands, taking a photo together. Proud of the emergence of females in sport and ladies league tag. Nice to see there. Coming up next is our main event. The under-23s country championships between the Monaro Colts and the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. The Colts getting a win last week over the Riverina Bulls in Wagga Wagga. And as for our friends, the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, they defeated the Western Rams 40 points to 16. So both these teams very capable of scoring points. We'll see another great attacking game. Make sure you stay tuned. That was the end of the Ladies League Tag. 12 points to 10, a tight contest. The GSR West Tigers, they move on to the final, and they'll take on the winner of the Central Coast Roosters and the Greater Northern Tigers. But stay tuned for the under-23s. We'll be back shortly.
I was talking about the chords, Joey, but whatever.
Let's skip half time.
Yeah.
80 minutes of break.
It's getting early, Mark.
Yeah. That's alright. So just up the bar up there. Yeah. So do you want them up? Yeah, I'll pull them up to you. All of them. Got it? I'll hold your shirt. There you go. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Does anyone want tape?
Nah. Alright, thanks, mate.
Nah, because I can fix mine on the line. But when you rest it up.
I just fix it up or drop it out. Not no, I'm kidding. You're joking me, 'cause I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, right. Is this all needed? It was in the shed when we came in. Oh, sweet.
Alright.
Put that one in my bag. I'll take it home.
Anything else you want us to work on, Joe, or what?
I'm happy.
No, yeah, just distance on that stand.
Yeah, let us know.
Marker depth, good.
Yeah.
Alright, sweet.
Whatever you see, you don't like.
Can you hear me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to get a photo?
Can you talk again?
We'll get a photo.
I can't hear you.
There's room here.
Is it soft for you?
Yeah, wait till we get out there. Same happened last week at the Campbelltown Stadium with Billy. It was soft until we got out on the field.
We're getting a photo, mate. four.
1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2. Mine's not that loud either.
I got you clear stuff.
Am I loud?
Yeah.
Well, why isn't mine?
That's all right, mate. Yeah.
Can you hear? Fix mine. See if you make it louder.
I just turned mine
I think I'm a little bit deaf, but. Sorry, get it out.
Can you stop hitting the gym? You're on 3, that's why.
Oh, get me on max. I'm deaf. Wait.
1, 2.
No, not that loud.
Go again.
1, 2.
No, a bit more.
Up or down?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
If I go up, it's the max.
Yeah, go max.
Mine's on 4. This is
Well, what a semi-final we just witnessed in the Ladies League tag. Welcome back to Workers Arena here at Goulburn. I'm James Robertson, calling the under-23s country championships for the men. You hear the ground announcer announcing the teams. We'll go through them as well. The Monaro Colts and the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. The Colts got here a great win over the Riverina Bulls. And the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, a convincing win, 40 points to 16 over the Western Rams. The winner of these two teams going through to the final. The Monaro Colts side at fullback is Ryan McQueen. He is the captain. On the wings, Cole Shepherdson and Chris Hart. The centres, Big Tavita, Aroha Tui Nauvai is slowly becoming one of my favourites. Riley Thomas will partner him. In the halves, Nicholas Cornish and Derek Hay. Locking the scrum, Tyson Greenwood. The back row, Nukangiri and Cleve McGee. And up front, Kai Madden, Zach Patch, Luke Skidmore. And on the bench, we do have a few changes on the bench. We'll try and get them if we can. But Ron Leopai is on the bench, as well as a few others. And like we said, we'll try and get those names if we can. But a few locals in this side, Tyson Greenwood being one of them, also Nicholas Cornish, looking to do what they do here for the Monaro Colts side. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons side at fullback is Cameron Scott. On the wings, Jacob Gould and Cameron Cornell. In the centres, Corey Grigg and Kurt Field. In the halves, Zach Green and Cameron Vasola. Locking the scrum is Nathan Lee Tigaga. The second row is Thomas Simpson and Liam Cassidy. And up front, Tyler Clark, Josh Daly and Jack Kavanagh. On the bench, Tony Pello, Josh Sainsbury, Luke Asquith, Stuart Mason and Brad Speechley. The coach is Wade Forrester. The coach for the Monaro Colts is Ash Barnes. Refereeing this one, Joey Butler. The touch judges, Caroline Nolan and Josh Ashkar. Like we said, we saw the Monaro Colts side last week. Very impressive over the Riverina Bulls. A few tries late, sort of stretching that scoreline out a bit. 38 points to 10, I believe the final score was. As for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, pretty much the same, a 40 point to 16 defeat of the Western Rams. So both these two teams playing in the semi-final, looking to go on to the final to play the winner of North Coast and the Northern Rivers, as we see the Monaro Colts. Or is that, no, that'll be the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. I hope there's not a jersey clash out here. No, that is the Monaro Colts, excuse me. A different strip to what they were wearing last week. And there is the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, led out by their captain, Josh Daly. Derek Hay, the captain for the Monaro Colts. Bit of a build-up to this one. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons Ladies League tag team, Agaba Vonna, and as well as the GSR West Tigers. They won their match. They're going through to the final to play the Central Coast Roosters. A venue yet to be decided. But a great game we did see earlier on in the Ladies League tag. But it's time for the Under-23s Country Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you all be upstanding as a mark of respect to young Corey Waddy, who tragically passed away last Saturday while playing for the Dapto Canaries. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons players will today be wearing black armbands as a mark of respect to the teammates from the Illawarra Steelers, the St George Illawarra Dragons and the Illawarra Division. Thank you, everybody.
And the greatest sign of respect shown to that poor boy from Dapto passing away last weekend. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons wearing black armbands today. So the sun poking its head out once again. It was a non-issue in the ladies' league tag. They threw the ball around like a hot potato. Well, we saw the Colts throw the ball around last week. Another much of the same here today. It'll be Chris Hart, the Goulburn Workers Bulldog, to get us underway here. The Colts versus the Dragons. It's a high-angled kickoff. And here we go. Who's moving through to the under-23s final against North Coast or North Rivers? Two very physical packs. We're going to see time off, and I think the South Coast Dragons players have seen a player sort of stumble away from a tackle, and they're very concerned with him. We might see a HIA here for the young player. We'll see who it is. It might be Tyson Greenwood, the lock forward, who bounced out of the tackle. It was a good run to start things off for the Dragons. Ron Leopai, he's up and about. Scored a try last week. Looking for the same impact off the bench here today. Unfortunately enough, we have the scoreboard. So we didn't have a scoreboard last week. But a scoreboard here today, so 39 minutes, 24 seconds remaining. So the first interchange, well, hopefully it's a free interchange for them. It's actually Luke Skidmore who scored the opening try last week against the Riverina Bulls in Wagga Wagga. So hopefully for the Colts he'll be okay and ready to go back out there. But for the meantime, it's Ron Leopai who has come onto the field, and a rampaging run there from Leon Cassidy from Collegians. Good tackle there from Cornish. And a good opening set for the Dragons. It comes away to the 7 in Cameron Varsola. And down to the Ryan McQueen, very sound of the back, is the captain. He leads by example. 3 of errors last week. Here comes the local Chris Hart. And here is Cleve McGee. Looking for a quick play the ball. Patchy was good last week as well, and Geary. Nice defence there from Varsola. So through the hands, and McGee with his second hit up. In fact, that's the 22. Unfortunately, we don't have him on the team sheet as of yet, so we'll try and what his name and details are. As Derek Hay puts a kick through, and it looks to sit up nicely. Great chase there from the number 2 Colts, Shepherdson. Never give up on the chase. Look for all money, it was going dead, but Shepherdson, he chased until the ball was picked up, and a great chance here for the Monaro Colts to go on an attacking rate. A forced dropout here for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. Let's see what the Colts have early stages here. A monstrous dropout 50 plus on the fly. Went backwards there from Derek Hay, but here is Leah Pye. Perhaps having to play a few more minutes with that HIA to Luke Skidmore. Chopping at the arms there. Liam Cassidy carefully doesn't get penalised. Patch. Now for McGee, up through the middle. One to beat in the fullback. He's going to have the speed. Doesn't even need strength. Break through the first tackle. Underneath the posts. And opening points for Cleve McGee from the Woden Rams, the Monaro Colts. 4 points to nil. It was a beautiful inside pass. And running onto it was a rampaging Cleve McGee. Like I said, didn't even need his strength, was just too big and fast for Cameron Scott. So, first use of possession inside the 20, the red zone of the Dragons, and first points. Here's Derek Hay from Queen Bean Kangaroos, was flawless with the boot last week. 6 from 6 and a penalty goal to boot. Also bagged himself a try as well. An integral part of this Monaro Colts side. This one from right in front. Should push it over the crossbar in between the uprights. The flags do go up, and another 2 added to the scoreboard at 6 points to nil. The Colts, they take the early lead. With that sun drifting in and out of the clouds, it's about 12 degrees here. So a chilly day, but it isn't stopping some great rugby league being played. Zach Green getting us back underway. And Ron Leopold quite literally on the back fence taking that hit up. I'm going to be asking a lot from him today. Here is Ngiri. That's what you like to see, getting on their front, getting those quick play the balls. The Dragons trying to get numbers in the tackles to stop that. Nice dummy from Zach Patch, and he's up through the middle. He's got support, but defenders are around him as well. Good tackle there from Nathan Leotaga. So fourth, here's Cornish away to Hay. Now out for Cleve McGee, rampaging run to start things in the set previous, but this time he's just wrapped up. Last tackle, Hay got the ball from his skipper. It's knocked backwards, no. Called forward, unfortunately, or otherwise it would have been back-to-back tries from the Monaro Colts and 2 tries in 2 weeks from Derek Hay. Kyle Shepardson out on that left-hand wing. Alongside his bodyguard, if you will, Tavita Rohat Tui Nalvai. He scored their second try last week and looked dangerous with every run. But here come the Illawarra South Coast Dragons through their forwards, their number 10, Jack Kavanagh. The 2 dummy halves running well. Josh Daly, it's going to be a penalty. The Colts offside. That looks to be a good battle. Zach Patch, Josh Daly, the 2 number 9s, getting out of dummy half. Very elusive. The Dragons look to find touch. And a good touch finder there. We'll find him about 42 metres out from the Colts line. Nice dummy there on the inside. And here is Nathan Leotigaga. So just looking to the centre things through the middle. Here's Tyler Clark from Milton Ulladulla. What can they do? Here's Cameron Scott, opted for the dummy on that occasion. Didn't get the ball out to Kurt Field. Now again, Kavanagh, second hit up. Looking rampaging early on. What are they going to go with here? They go back to Varsola. They grub a kick like a pinball machine, and in fact it was a knock on there. So the Colts are going to get the ball back. Good pressure and good defence on their own goal line. Notice we don't seem to have a winger in our team sheet that's out there on the field, jersey 20. I'll try and see the man that's off the field. Will be Cornish to feed this scrum for the Colts. Now they go to Big Tavita Aroha Tuinauwai. And breaking one tackle to start things there. Kurt Field coming in for a second helping, trying to bring the big man down. McGee. Here's Cornish. Now a short side raid. And Geary trying to get the markers offside. And, well, he's just as physical as Aroha Tuinauwai. And through the hands they come now, and it's Kai Madden trying to drag his way and gain every metre that he can. Last tackle, and they'll be inside the 40. Cornish with a high end-over-end bomb. Trouble there for the number 20. Knocked on. They're going to play advantage and kick forward. Has been grounded there by the Dragons, so a goal line dropout. Some eyes up footy there from Riley Thomas, putting the right foot soccer onto it. Didn't get the try, didn't get the 4 points, but it's a force line dropout, and the Colts will get the football back. Just 10 minutes gone, and already the Colts, they look deadly. Just a bit of pressure from the Colts placed onto the Dragons. Another high dropout. Derek Hay, he's underneath that. Won't have the battle of the headgears, but Cameron Vasola, he will be a formidable opponent for Derek Hay today in the battle of the halves. Leapai. So 20 metres out. Cameron Scott defending in the line. So maybe a dummy as they turn him back on the inside. Nice pass from Cornish. Madden looking for a quick play, the ball getting it. But the referee asking him, go back and play it on the mark. We've seen that penalised a few times in the NRL this season. And the referee being a bit lenient there. Here's Patch. Hands it off to that 22 again. Unfortunately, don't have him on the team sheet. Here's Patch again. Hay, grab a kick through, sits up. Try to get there. I think it was Shepherdson looking for the ball before it hit the dead ball line, but just a bit too much juice on it there from Hay. And the Dragons breathe a sigh of relief, and they're out to the 20. They're going to be relying a lot on these outside backs, so it seems. The forwards a fair bit of defence done early. Daly heads to the right-hand side and goes to Kavanagh. Been busy early, trying to lead this forward pack through the hands, and again another bit of pressure there. Hay finished off the tackle. Looked like a good raid at perhaps Thomas Simpson out there on the right edge. But unfortunately, another error creeps into the Dragons game, and the Colts will get possession inside their own half. 12 minutes gone, 6 points nil. The Colts over the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. Cleve McGee with the opening try. Barnstorming run. The conversion there by Derek Hay. Meanwhile, here's big Aroha Tuinauwai. How's he allowed to do that? 4 defenders bringing him down, trying to get up to his feet to play the ball, and a penalty gifted there to the Colts. Cornish looks for touch. And once again, the Colts looking to do some damage with the football. Here's Riley Thomas. A bit quiet last week. Looking to do something here is Ngiri, shrugging off defenders. Man in there low was Corey Grigg, trying to bring Ngiri to ground. Through the hands there from Cornish. And they're 10 metres out. They've got a stacked short side here, the Colts. They opt to go to the open side here with Leapai, trying to muscle his way over, beat the tackle of Cameron Scott. Josh Daly wasn't enough for him. We spoke about Derek Hay looking for 2 tries in 2 weeks. Well, Ron Leapai, after the HIA there for Luke Skidmore, he's come onto the field, and with immediate impact, he gets his 2nd try in 2 weeks. And the Colts, they lead 10 points to 0. So again, just hard running from the forwards. McGee open proceedings with a barnstorming run, like we said. And well, Leapai didn't think he'd be on the field this early, but bags himself a meat pie. Derek Kay, 100% with the boot in this competition. Flags go up, and 2 from 2 today for Derek Kay. And the Colts have a 12-point lead. 25 minutes left in the first half. Fast scoring. We know this Dragon side can score points. They scored 40 points last week against the Western Rams. Perhaps taken a bit to the Monaro Colts side. It has been very impressive to open things up. It just feels like it's getting colder and colder as Zach Green gets us back underway. And again, Leapai from the back fence takes a hit up. And well, hero turned villain. A try and an error gifting the Dragons a opportunity here to hit back. That's the one thing Coach Ash Barnes will be looking for, is just completing sets, especially after scoring points. The knock on the first play, the brand new set off the kickoff, and here comes Kurt Field from the western suburbs, looking to put the Dragons in a prime position here with Kavanagh. Only 5 metres out. Daly. Out the back they come with Scott. Good pass, nice step, Corey Grigg. And again, good defence there from the Colts. He's the halfback, Varsola. From Kayama. Daly. Out the back it comes Simpson. Good defence once again, pushing them back at the Colts' last tackle. Scott. With a 5/8 in Green. Nice grubber kick. And a bit of pressure there from the number 12 in Liam Cassidy. And perhaps he should have let Nicholas Cornish collect that football. Would have resulted, if he tackled him, in a goal line dropout. But here we are on a Roja Tui now by taking the 20 tap and taking it out to the, oh well, maybe a bit of spite there. Liam Cassidy throwing Big Tavita's boot about 20 yards backwards. And going 10 yards sideways was Nuke Ngiri. Short side play, Thomas. Always good to see the old boot go up in the air. Here's Ngiri. Straight to the halfback. A lot of traffic coming his way, Varsola. Patch, Leopai. Now for Madden. And only the fourth tackle, and they're fairly deep inside the half here of the Dragons. Here's McGee again looking for the offload. Nice play there from McQueen, the captain. And now it's going to be... Oh, it was just too good. Too quick to keep up with. And Derek Hay... Well, there's his try. Tried to get one earlier in the first half, but he ends up getting one again off the back of Cleve McGee. Great pass there from Ryan McQueen. And Derek Hay adjacent to that left-hand Coca-Cola upright. It's 16 points to 0. The Colts over the Dragons.
Keep it up, Joe. We haven't got anything for you. Keep going.
So 18 of the 38 points scored last week by the Monaro Colts scored by this man, Derek Hay. He's already converted two tries that is, and scored a try of his own. So 8 points here today. Looking to make it 10. That'll be 28 for the tournament. Like we said, the winner of this game going on to play the winner of North Coast and Northern Rivers. That's the Northern Pool semi-final. Here we are, the other semi-final here from Workers Arena is Derek Hay. Splits the uprights in two, not a problem. 18 points to 0, a fast start for the Monaro Colts.
The Monaro Colts 18.
And that right side defence seems to be a bit shocked. Liam Cassidy, Kurt Field, and Zach Green really struggling out there on that right-hand side. Hopefully they can come back, and Green with the kick-off. Well, look, I say it every set, but he's literally sitting there on that fence near the cars, Leopai. And make sure he plays the ball this time. So perhaps a better set after points this occasion for the Colts. Some bench players warming up. Again, chilly day out here, 12 degrees. It hasn't stopped the Monaro Colts from playing a fast brand of football. Here's a Roha Tui Nauvai. Three defenders still trying to gain any meterage that he can. And a sound play the ball to boot. He's the 22, tried to get that offload away, and, well, Cornish made the error. Wasn't expecting it. And Cameron Varsola came through and almost made something of that, but nonetheless, the Dragons are going to get the scrum 40 metres out. 18 and a half to go till the half-time break. They've been quite a good team in all round in the country championships, under 16s, under 18s. Made the semi-final in the ladies' league tag, and now here again in the under 23s. I want to do the Illawarra South Coast proud here. The boys out here today in the penalty. It'll be Tyson Greenwood perhaps looking for the quick tap was Daly. In fact, no, it's a 9-on-9 there. Zach Patch. Here comes Leah Tagaga and knock on a brutal hit there. And, well, look, if I was Zach Patch, I wouldn't pick a fight with this number 13. He's, well, not twice the size of him, but, well, Zach Patch is not a big kid by any stretch of the imagination. But they focus on the game at hand, and perhaps that is the Colts' greatest strength. Mentally, they're winning the battle at the moment. Here's Ngiri. He's been running a Vasolo all day. He's been a bit of a 50-50, Vasolo. Here's Greenwood. One of the locals in this Monaro Colts side. Leapai. Last tackle shouted by the ref, Joey Butler. Hay, crossfield kick. Who's underneath it? Oh, great take there for the number 5 in Cameron Cornell. It was a contest between he and Shepherdson, and he won the battle on that occasion. Perhaps what they needed to gain any sort of good field position as they roll up through the middle here. Daly, and the 16 on there, Luke Asquith from Jamboree. Daly now for Green again. Sort of a grubber kick in towards the middle of the field. Cornish getting it and stepping around. Very elusive is the 5'8" from Monaro. And so the 21, Luke Ingram, coming onto the field. Leapai getting a well-earned rest after his try, coming onto the field early. Is Ngiri trying to get up over halfway. The defence leaving him on halfway. He's Cornish, sees he spots a gap, try to get the offload away. And well, that would have been something if McQueen got the ball on the end of that play. Greenwood. Just shy of the 20 here, the Colts. Perhaps an attacking kick. Here's Cornish. Grab a kick, looking for the in goal. Taken well there by the 20. Still some work to do, though. And great defence there from Riley Thomas. Well, hasn't done much with the football, but he's been good defensively. And another forced line dropout. I think the third. The Colts have forced, and the Dragons again to drop it out from their own goal line.
Behind the line. Behind the line.
15 minutes to play in the first half. 18-0 the scoreline. Another great drop out there from the Dragons. And here comes Greenwood. Had to travel back to go get that one.
Hold. Go. One.
Here's Ingram. Driven his head into the turf. Perhaps trying to find his front for a quick play. The ball, Ngiri, good physicality there. Corey Grigg. Met Ngiri one-on-one. Perhaps he has to play a bit up and in. Help out his halfback, Varsola. Left-hand side they come with Patch. Now for Ingram again. Try to get that ball away for Hay. He might not need to. Held up by the defenders there, so McGee with a well-earned rest. Patch with a grubber kick into the in goal. It's going to be battered dead again, once again, by Cameron Scott of Collegians. The fourth dropout, the pressure building. At this point, the Monaro Colts just going through the motions, and a comprehensive lead at the moment, 18 points to 0. Still plenty of time to come back from the Dragons, but well, the Colts just looking very good in attack. Bounces over the head of Hay, has to come back, and here goes Aroha to Inalvai. Look at the leg drive, 12 metres on that carry. Through the hands again, Hay, Cornish now for Ingram. Wrapped up there by a few defenders, Liam Cassidy in there. Kai Madden. And once again, they find them 10 metres out from the Dragons line. Hay holds it up for the fullback, McQueen. Tried to beat one tackle, but he surrenders. Cornell came in to finish the job. Started there by Kurtfield, short side to Inalvai. Can he get over? Oh, well, he gets the offload away. And Cleve McGee, who I thought had gone off the field, he comes up with the error. So a bit of relief there for the South Coast Dragons. And we'll see a scrum form 10 metres out from their line. 12 and a half minutes to play until the end of the first half. The try scorers so far, Derek Hay, Cleve McGee and Ron Leapai. Derek Hay 3 from 3 so far with the boot, so a pretty good day for the Monaro Colts. If the result stays the way it is, they will go on to play the winner of the Northern Rivers, the North Coast, in the final of the Under-23s Country Championships, venue yet to be decided. The final of the Ladies League tag will be the GSL West Tigers taking on the Central Coast Roosters. Meanwhile, we're here with the Dragons as they get to halfway. Green finds Asquith, trying to add some impact from the bench onto the field. Trying to lift this Dragon side. Daly now for Green. Skies a nice torpedo bomb. Under pressure is Ryan McQueen, but takes it soundly, and he gives it to the hometown boy Chris Hart. And 15 metres out from their own line. And down the short side they come. Here's Riley Thomas. Great run, trying to catch the halfback Barsola offside. He's going to be asked to play it back on the mark. Fortunately there for the Colts is Ngiri. And changes made by both sides. Half an hour gone. Here's Ingram. He was great off the bench last week as well as Leapai. And here's Hay just looking for touch. He won't find it. Comes off the knees of Cornell. But a pretty good pick-up and gains 10 metres for his troubles, although he's been driven back about 2 by Hay and McGee. Watching the Under-23s Country Championships live here, and, well, a penalty. Unfortunately, Big Tavita thought he was away, but a strip found there by the referee, Joey Butler. And this will give the Dragons a chance to go on the attack inside the half of the Monaro Colts. Like I was saying, streamed through Bar TV Sports. That's how you're able to watch this coverage, streamed on Facebook Live. I'm sure we'll get a chance to thank our partners in a second or at half time, but the Dragons inside the 20, looking to put some points on and reduce that deficit. Asquith, nice pass there from the halfback, beats the tackle of Cornish. Liam Cassidy from Collegians. Nice early ball there from Cameron Varsola, and he just ran over the top of him pretty much, Liam Cassidy, and a try scored, getting them back in this one. It's a try they needed. Now, typically in these rep competitions, you speak about combinations at club level. A lot of Collegians players in this South Coast Dragons side. Cam Scott, Liam Cassidy, just to name a few. We'll see Zach Green from Western Suburbs to line up for the attempt. Only about 17 metres out. About 12 in from the touchline where I am standing. So the sun won't be in his eyes for this kick. Will definitely help him. And the breeze has not picked up at all, so pretty still air will again help him. Looking for that right hand upright to slot it through to make the difference, 12 points. Looks good off the boot, and he begins the same way Derek Hay did, 100%. As Zach Green converting the try by Liam Cassidy. And a try that the Illawarra South Coast Dragons so desperately needed off the back of a penalty. Getting downfield, and what feels like one of their first real chances down on the Colts line, they come up with points. And Chris Hart going for the short kickoff. There was absolutely no one there for the South Coast Dragons. Great eyes up footy from Chris Hart. So 30 metres away now, and Ingram taken there by Josh Daly. In fact, sorry, it was Luke Ingram. Mixing my under-23s up with my IPL, but it'll be Derek Hay, the halfback, to look to push this lead out to 14 points. Took a penalty goal relatively close to, well, I think it was on the siren, Wagga Wagga last week, and put his side out by 8 points at the break. His time is 6 minutes on the clock, looking to put them out by 14 and keep the points coming for his tally. Again, penalty aside, great eyes up footy from Riley Thomas. Oh, sorry, from Chris Hart, the man that kicked the football off. It was only one player from the Dragons standing on that 40-metre line, and he took full advantage. And penalty aside, they were going to look to score points. They've settled for the 2 here. Just outside the 20, so about 22 out, and probably in line with that left upright. Similar to one of his earlier conversions. And flags are up, and the lead is extended to 14 points with 5.5 minutes to go. So 20 points to 6. I think that won't faze the South Coast Dragons too much. I mean, giving away 2 points definitely won't be the best thing, but could have been a lot worse defending their own line with 5 to go. Heading into the break. You can see the 40-metre line patrolled by 4 Monaro Colts players. There is a bit of a gap. Perhaps they go for a shortish kickoff. No, Green opts to go deep. It's going to be run back here by Ingram. He's met there heavily in defence. Great tackle there, the number 12, Liam Cassidy, in the 19. We don't have him on the team sheet. Nonetheless, a great defensive tackle there. Here's Greenwood. All important set after points. Ingram again, second hit up, and a big shot there. Cassidy. Here's Patch trying to get out of the grips of Cassidy. And boy, he's been physical in defence. And clutching the face is Zach Patch, brought down heavily by 3 defenders. Cassidy being one of them, back-to-back tackles for him. The time has been blown off, 4 minutes, 6 seconds remaining. Trainer on the field. Let's hope Patch is okay. He's an 80-minute player for this Monaro Colts side. Some words there from Cameron Scott, telling the Dragons to tighten up defensively. I'm sure they'll be looking to do that with only 4 minutes left on the clock. So short side they come with Cornish. Kick towards the middle of the field. And left there by Cameron Scott. So some work to do here. It's a wall of red and white. And a great hit there. Who was that? It was the number 9, Zach Patch, the man that was left on the deck. And some great backup defence. Ingram also. And you just feel the intensity in this one has lifted a bit. Ingram back-to-back tackles. Oh, and another good shot. They're launching at them like missiles. Here's Daly out of dummy half. Trying to catch players offside and gains 12 metres in doing so. Running, that is. Scott. And a short kick there from Simpson. He finds Shepherdson on his chest. And now here's McQueen. Just to settle things in the middle of the field. 32 metres from home. And a knock on from the captain. So an opportunity here before the break for the Dragons to go over. And not what Ash Barnes will be looking for from his troops after such an impressive first half. Just a few errors, not too many, but just a couple in key areas of the field creeping into their game. Last time the Dragons scored off a penalty. Can they score off the back of a scrum? Daly, now for Scott. Looking for the kick over the top, trying to chase it himself. He wins the race. And he somehow got an offload away to Corey Grigg. Well, I thought he was tackled. What a freakish offload from Cameron Scott. And Corey Grigg, well, I thought he had absolutely no chance of scoring. I thought it was a fantastic effort there from Cornish, but a over-the-back type offload from Cameron Scott puts Corey Grigg over. At 2 minutes from time here in the first half. A try that the Dragons desperately needed to get them back into this contest. Like I said, errors and penalties in key positions of the field. That the Dragons scoring their first try through Liam Cassidy off the back of a penalty, and that time of a set movement from Corey Grigg put it down to the work of Cameron Scott to get that ball out. And could it be a battle of the goal kickers? Zach Green converted his first from quite a similar position, probably a bit further out and further back, possibly only by a metre, but it could make all the difference. Time still running, so might not see a resumption of play here in the first half. But Green, can he get it through the middle of the sticks? Well, that was gun barrel straight from Zach Green. And the 8-point deficit says to me that the Monaro Colts very good in the opening half an hour, but the Dragons just fighting back, trying to even up this contest. And the Monaro Colts in absolutely no hurry to get us back underway. And there is the siren for half time. And well, we knew this one was going to be high scoring. A lot of points scored, 78 between these two teams last weekend in their respective games. 32 in the first half there. 3 tries to the Monaro Colts. Derek Hay, Cleve McGee and Ron Leopi getting on the try scorers sheet. Derek Hay 3 from 3 and a penalty goal, putting them in front by 8. And the tries for the South Coast Dragons, Liam Cassidy and a late try to Corey Grigg off a tremendous offload from Cameron Scott, giving them a try to put them back into this game. Zach Green 2 from 2, perfect with the boot so far. What an exhilarating first half. Stay tuned, or go get a cold beverage. Come back. The second half will be underway quite shortly. Been a fantastic contest and more of the same in the second half. Live here from the Workers Arena in Goulburn. Not that the two teams running back out onto the field will know it, but boy, the Northern Rivers, 42 minutes gone, 44 points to nil against North Coast. So I think without a shadow of a doubt, the winner of this game will go on to play Northern Rivers in the Under-23s Country Championships final. Venue yet to be decided. Just before we get underway for the second half, we'd like to thank our sponsors, SLE Worldwide Australia, the major sponsor, Bar TV Sports, our live stream provider, allowing you to watch these games live, streamed through Facebook, and Victor Sports, another one of our sponsors. Good first half. Expect a lot of physicality, and that's exactly what we saw. We see Ryan McQueen lead the Monaro Colts back out onto the field. Things evening up in that second half. Oh, sorry, the second half of the first half, rather. The South Coast Dragons, 2 tries, getting the deficit to within 8. But again, that left-hand side of the Colts, that seems to be the go-to. Derek Hay, Cleve McGee, Ron Leopold off the bench.
Davey on the ball.
Just before we start, that was an outstanding overhead throw from Cameron Cornell. If things don't work out here in the country championships, perhaps he's got a career in the NFL. But underway the second half.
Hold, go, one.
The semi-final, live from Workers Arena here in Goulburn. The Monaro Colts have a 20 points to 12 lead over the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. They look to keep it that way.
Ready, move! 3-7. On hold, go, 3.
Ngiri, solid set to start off things here in the second half. Cornish, now for Ingram.
Surrender!
Had immediate impact off the bench. Start things here in that first half. Is Cornish trying to get a long kick away, but some pressure, opting to go short. Nice footwork by the man Chris Hart, trying to get the pass away, did. Another offload, and the Monaro Colts. Are we watching them or the Harlem Globetrotters? What about the kick, the catch from Chris Hart, the offload back on the inside? And it's the captain backing up like all men should. And what a sensational try for the Monaro Colts. Well, you thought that try in the first half to Corey Grigg was great. It was fantastic, but nothing like that try there. Great kick on the last from Cornish. Looked to go long, went high. Great take, and boy, what a way to start things in this second half.
Not flying yet, mate. Not flying yet.
We've seen some outstanding finishes in all 3 age groups of the country championships and the ladies league tag also. But I think that's the best team try that I've seen in this competition thus far. And what a way to score it in the semi-final to put your team 12 up. Early stages of the second half, but could be the difference between the two sides. Really, there was nothing much that the Dragons could do there. So, Hay, 3 from 3 with the boot in the first half. And a penalty goal as well. This, his toughest conversion here today. And while that's his first unsuccessful conversion in this tournament, he's been very good with the boot. So only 12 points the difference. And you can see he's not happy with that at all, Derek Kay. Well, Zach Green will get us back underway and, well, blown off the park early stages second half. Definitely not what the Dragons were expecting. Nice high hanging kick. And it's Ingram who's on the back fence in the opposite end. He and Leopai doing much the same here for the Monaro Colts. As they roll through the middle. They look to be ready for this second half. Greenwood, nice quick play the ball. Patch. Now out it comes from Cornish to Ngiri, and he goes over the halfway line into enemy territory. Ingram with his second hit up of the set. Just a fast, fit-looking outfit. Here's the crossfield kick from Hay, much more deliberate than their last kick, but equally as good the catch, equally as good the offload, and equally as good the try. Sensational. Tavita Aroha Tui now by the hairs on my arm stand up. Goosebumps. Outrageous football from the Monaro Colts. Back-to-back tries, and both as good as each other. High kicks from both the halves. On that occasion, it was Cole Shepherdson getting him up above the pack. And a freakish flick pass out to big Aroha Tui now via from West Belconnen Warriors. Well, look, they scored 38 points last week, but their attack was nothing like this. So Derek Kay having to, well, calm the adrenaline down. I'm having to calm the adrenaline down after two of probably the best tries we've seen all tournament. Had a streak of 12, reset to 0, back-to-back unsuccessful conversions. 28 points to 12, and really, if you're the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, there's nothing that you could have done to prepare yourself for those two onslaughts there. Incredible. Green gets us back underway. 16 points to deficit. And Ingram, who started this second half red hot. The Dragons need to force an error somewhere here. Is that McGee? Just carrying defenders. They've just been fast. Quick play the balls. Here's Aroha Tui now Vi, the try scorer. Finding his front, playing the ball. They're just not quick enough. Like I said, they were impressive last week in Wagga Wagga. Impressive here in the opening 30 minutes in the first half. But it seems like they've gone into gear 5. Hay looks for touch. Kai Madden and Ron Leopai on the bench looking to warm up. Looking for some more game time. And Aroha Tui now by looking for the number 23 to get them to within 12 of the line. Here's Greenwood. Yeah, well, I thought he might have got there, but a case of double movement called by the referee. Greenwood was held up short, and, well, the Dragons, they can count their stars lucky. because a third try there and their momentum would be, if it wasn't completely shot then, it was completely shot had that try been scored. But a bit of luck going their way. What can they do with their first real opportunity with the ball? Great offload. He's Daly. And again, Ingram and Daly going at it. Great hit there on the number 9. The Colts, great in attack, but backing it up with some stern defence. Here's Green. Tui Nauvai coming out of the line, trying to take Kurt Field one-on-one. Beat him with a bit of footwork and a slight fend. They're up over halfway. And the Dragons looking to, well, surely settle things here. Round the back they come. Nice pass. And another great offload. Again, it was the 3, Corey Krieg. The wing has been taken over to the touchline. Calls for a second effort from the fans, but great offload from Corey Grigg. Unfortunately, the winger finding himself out on that further touchline. Flag went up from Carolee Nolan. And the Colts, they defend that raid and look to go on the attack once again. They're only inside their own 20, but seemingly can attack from anywhere. McGee. Yet to see Leopold back into the action, but that'll happen surely. Oh, shortly, rather. Here's a Roha. Tui Nauvai. What about the speed and the strength? Looking for the offload. Supporting was the fullback in McQueen. But a quick play, the ball works just as good. Here's Ngiri, spread of the ball. Nice speed there from Riley Thomas. Looks infield, looks to burn everyone. 3 tries in a row. Like a hot knife through butter. Riley Thomas straight through the middle, underneath the uprights. 32 points to 12. The Colts on absolute fire. Put it down to the great pass of Nuke and Geary. The Queen Bee and Kangaroos. Got it away to Riley Thomas and Ron McQueen, Roha, Tui Nauvai and Thomas, all on the try-scoring list. And Shepherdson and Hart don't want to be left out. The 2 wingers, they'll definitely want to get on the score sheet to have a 5-way of tries for the back line. And hey, I bet he'd still be filthy with himself missing those 2 conversions. But 12 from 14, definitely still very good. $32 points throughout the tournament, 2 tries and 12 conversions. And the way this game is shaping up, what a game next week. If the Monaro Colts do in fact get over here against the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, is right in front. He puts the flags up. Oh, the touch judges put the flags up. Carolee Nolan and Josh Ashkar. But it was from the boot of Derek Kay. Gets back to the goal-kicking ways, but you know, if this game continues the way it's going, the Monaro Colts and Northern Rivers, what a contest that's going to be in the under-23s men's final. But there's still 27.5 minutes left on the clock. I thought that was going dead in goal. They left it alone there. Cornish was the man, thought it was going out on the full, but a goal line dropout here for the Colts and an opportunity for the Dragons to try and post points.
Good. Behind the line.
So what can the Dragons come up with here? Another high hanging kick, this time from a dropout. And here's Jack Kavanagh back on the field from Shell Harbour. Gets the flick pass out the back. So perhaps some hot potato football. Here's Nathan Leitagaga, who plays it 20 metres out from the line. Daly back to Kavanagh.
13, move!
Looking to put his team over that try line. Shaping out the back. Here goes Scott in the corner. Interchange of passing. Cameron Cornell from Kayama gets over the line. And we'll need a try there for the Dragons. A nice pass from Cameron Scott. It started there with Zach Green.
Try to Illawarra step number 5, Cameron Cornell.
And this is the sort of football it seems that the Dragons are going to need to play if they're going to have any chance of defeating the Monaro Colts here this afternoon. Interesting change. The fullback Cameron Scott now to right centre, and the two Camerons combined, Scott and Cornell. One from Collegians, one from Kayama. That's the 5'8", Zach Green, who is 100% here today, but this one a very tough conversion attempt. About 22 out, right on the broadcast side of the ground. And can he do what Derek Hay couldn't out wide? This the hardest conversion attempt from anyone today. Sun over the back of the shoulder, so that will be no problem. Looks good off the boot towards the middle. Does it have the length? It does. So goal kicking will be at a premium here if they can go up by sixes. The difference only 16 points now. Still 24 and a half minutes to go, so plenty of time to score 3 converted tries. But their defence is going to have to tighten up on that right-hand side and through the middle third. And, well, the Colts, if they keep attacking the way they have been in this game, especially in the second half. Oh, and a great kick-off there from the number 5. Once again, he's a kick-off specialist, Chris Hart. Error there from the Dragons, and the Colts again will have another opportunity to score some more points. You can sense the Colts a sense of, oh, we're well on our way to win this game already. There's still a long time to go, but a try here will definitely make it very hard for the Dragons to come back. Here is McGee. 10 metres out, centre of the ground. Which side do they come? A dummy to the right from Patch, and he comes to the left. The number 23 is put down there of the Monaro Colts. Patch, Cornish, turns Greenwood on the inside. Brought down there by 3 defenders. We've got numbers both sides, probably more short out to the right-hand side of the Dragons. A dummy and run from Cornish. But good defence there. Solo effort from the 21. Just trying to play the ball is Cornish. Perhaps a penalty, no. Hay, Ingram, trying to break defenders. Thought it was high. It's going to be called late. So there's 16 points down, and I think Derek Hay might be looking at the 2 points here. They're definitely considering it. Zach Patch just holding the ball, weighing up the options, but they opt to go for the tap restart and find themselves 5 metres out from the Dragons line. Patch with a dummy run, goes himself, breaks one tackle. They got the numbers out to the left-hand side. McGee goes himself, breaks the tackle of the fullback, and nonchalantly just puts it down. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons defenders thought the tackle was complete by Cameron Scott, but playing to the whistle, Cleve McGee broke the tackle, scored the first try And he scores another one here, bags himself a double. 22 minutes to go, and more points on the board for the Monaro Colts.
Cold, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we didn't use this off this. Bit of wind.
Snow over there, I think.
So some interchanges coming on. Leapai and Madden. The forwards rotating. Time called off. 38 points to 8. The Monaro Colts lead. And just a note here for myself of cover the under 16s, under 18s, under 23s, and the ladies league tag. And yet in live calling to see a hat trick scored by a player. Perhaps there has been hat tricks scored in and across all 4 competitions. But is today the day when someone scores a hat trick? Cleve McGee with 2 tries. And Derek Kay unsuccessful again. So 3 conversions away, to the left, to the right. But the 20-point deficit staring in the face of the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, coming for the mouth of Derek Kay. Complete, must complete after points so important. And the South Coast Dragons opting for a short restart. Who's underneath it? Zach Patch takes it bravely like a full forward in AFL. Great mark of the football, but the Monaro Colts look to continue with great field position early in the tackle count. 40 metres out from their own line. Here's Riley Thomas. A try, a sound achiever, good defence. Breaking a few tackles there. Going on the left-hand side. Here is McGee. He's my man to score a hat-trick. Hopefully he can. He's Leapai back for a second stint.
Last tackle!
The South Coast Dragons, they've got to come up with some magic. Perhaps they need to do it in defence. Good chase there from Daly out of marker, but Cornish kicks it down the ground, fielded by the winger of the Dragons. He'll take it 20 metres out, although driven there heavily in the tackle by Madden and co. And where's it going to come from for the Dragons? Cassidy's got to try. Corey Grigg, Cameron Cornell. Possibly a bit of a mousetrap there. Doesn't fool McGee and Hay. They wrap up the number 20 defensively there. So 4th tackle. They're only 40 metres out. Perhaps a 40-20 attempt. Now they go down the short side here with Green. Leapai spinning out of the tackle. Daly comes away. Nice footwork there by the 21. And again, good defence, but he somehow flicks the ball out the back. But it's called a knock on. Now, Liam Cassidy looking for that kick down the ground, but it'll eventuate to nothing, and the Colts will get the ball 40 metres out with a play the ball restart. An error on the last tackle. The sun has come back out once again, but it's been a very chilly day here. Around 11, 12 degrees, good hit there, but Ngiri fending off defenders. The Dragons wrong position of the field, and well, they'd like to have possession, so they've got to make the Colts cough up the football. Here is Leapai. Brought to ground by 4. Defenders, that is. Patch, Hay on the inside to the number 8, Kai Madden. Some hefty footwork. Almost to the line. Was aware of the double movement. Patch, long pass out. Cornish, crossfield kick. Are we going to see a try? We are. It's the number 5. Wanted to get himself on the score sheet of the local boy from Goulburn Workers. Chris Hart gets over. And the Colts, they're just extending their lead at this point. Wide overlap out to the right-hand side, left side defensively for the Central Coast Dragons. And, well, Chris Hart, some great goal kicking, general play kicking, or kicking nonetheless in the first half to get them the ball back. Was a part of that try early in the second half to Riley Thomas. And he gets himself over the stripe there.
Getting faster than Monaro had the ball, so they got the roll on. Keep working that tackle ID.
Yeah, great, thank you.
That'll mean 4 of the back 5. All getting across the line. Cole Shepherdson, the lone non-try scorer. And while these kicks, they just get harder and harder for Derek Kay. He had a pretty easy afternoon with the boot last week at Wagga Wagga. Still slotted some difficult conversion attempts, but he's had a few out wide on the touchline, either side of the ground. Can he sink this one over?
Yep.
And well, the flags go up for this one. Back to the goal kicking ways there for Derek Kay. 44 points to 18. And well, 26 points the difference. It is a steep hill to climb. Only 5 converted tries needed to win this one. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons. But I don't think the Colts will want to get complacent at all. They want to prepare as much as they can in the final 15 minutes for their opponents next week, the Northern Rivers, in the Under-23s Country Championships final. We already know the GSL West Tigers will take on the Central Coast Roosters in the Ladies League Tag final. That's surely to be a great contest. Earlier today, the GSR Tigers getting the win over the Illawarra South Coast Dragons girls in the Ladies League Tag. 12 points to 10, low scoring, but very exciting football nonetheless. And the Colts doing a number on the Dragons here at the moment. Last tackle, and Derek Kay just dribbling it into the sideline. Nice touch finder and a good set after points there. And the Dragons looking to work it away from their own end. They're just going to have to play hot potato football at the moment, just having to throw the ball around.
Let's go, boys.
162 points scored here today. 78 points combined scored last week between these two sides in their respective games. I mean, new point scoring wasn't going to be an issue.
Come down. 4.
I think the Colts side has been the better one defensively, as obvious as that seems.
6.
They've been very good defensively, and they're going to be a stern test for the Northern Rivers next week. At the final 14 minutes, the Dragons will look to take any consolidations that they can.
11.
Here's Liam Cassidy, and a penalty given.
Number 11. Cameras on the ball.
Hand in the ruck there from, seems to be Cornish in the number 6. Kick out into touch, and a very good touch finder. It was off the boot there of Cameron Varsola. Haven't seen a lot of him today. He's been worked over defensively. Come to that side of the field a lot. Here's Kavanagh.
Keep going.
And he's got a good offload in his game. Here is Varsola. Now out for Green. Round the back, and just an error creeping into the game. Here is Aroha Tui now, Vi, who's very quick for a big man. He's got support on his outside, but he's going to be brought down. He plays the ball. I thought it might have been called a play on, but here's Zach Patch. Now out for Cornish. We're going to see some more magic for the Monaro Colts. Some footwork from Cornish. A flick out the back. Now for Patch. And he's brought down by a slip of his boot. Caught in the turf. But early in the tackle count, Leapai centres things towards the goalposts. 15 metres out. Can they hit the half-century mark? Patch, Cornish, here comes the captain, sweeping around the back, nice dummy. And Riley Thomas brought short of the line. Chris Hart, he wanted a double as well. Both of them wanting doubles. Well, I thought it might have been offside there from marker, but well, they're trying to get over. He's been held up there. No, time called off, and it will be the last tackle. What can they come over with here? Cole Shepardson, he'll be wanting a try out here on this left-hand wing. Cornish, Hay, goes back to the right-hand side with a grubber, nicely picked up there. The Dragons averting danger on that occasion. Just looking for some simple football here. The forwards hitting it up and a kick out into touch. And 26 points, it is a very deep, steep hill to climb, but they are going to throw the football around. One-on-one strip. And it is called. 6 to go. It was Cameron Scott trying to get around Tavita Aroha Tui Nauvai. There is Thomas Simpson backing his way into Leapai, trying to gain as many metres as he can. Here's Nathan Lea Tagaga, who, with minimal football, he's made a bit of an impact. Perhaps they would have liked to give him the football a bit more. Kavanagh out the back, looking for that offload from Liam Cassidy. That's led to some points for the Dragons before. Daly now out for Tyler Clark. Getting the offload, no one there. Picked up by Daly. And he's manhandled there by McGee. So, fourth tackle. Perhaps caught a bit high. Struggling to get to his feet, Daly. He did play, but asked to play the ball again by the referee. Here come the short side with Green, a nice little kick into the in goal, and Shepardson will watch that one go dead. So a 0 tackle and a 20-metre restart here for the Colts. I don't think they'll be in any hurry, although Shepardson, he wants a try of some description. Here he goes from the 20. So 10 and a half minutes to go. Here is Chris Hart. And the Colts just looking to do everything they can. From my standpoint, they look flat to Aroha Tui Nauvai. They're 40 metres out, tackled 2. And a ruck infringement penalty coming there. Kicking the ball away was the 6, Zach Green. Well, Hayes looking over to the bench. He might be looking for a long shot at goal here. 40 metres out, he is in the middle of the ground. And Aroha Tui Nauvai just, I think, just taking a bit of a breather. He's had a big game. He scored a try. And Hayes going to look for touch time back on. On this occasion, can the Colts make their way to the half-century mark?
11,
Brought down there, Green. So Greenwood going into dummy half. I think you'll find there's a bit of a reshuffle happening with McGee into the centre position, and oh, it's a funny looking reshuffle. Zach Patch standing there at first receiver, gets the ball. It was McQueen. Now again for Riley Thomas, looking for a double. A lot of players looking for a double, and he's been quite lenient, the referee, allowing the players to go back on the mark to play the football. Here is Hay looking for Shepardson. Well, he couldn't get the try, but McGee pushing the number 21 for the Dragons into touch. They're going to get another line drop out here, and more possession, the Monaro Colts.
He's got a hold of you, up the back.
So a long drive back to a lot of areas here for the Illawarra South Coast Dragons as they drop it out for their own end goal. Monaro Colts prepare for a final in the Country Championships under 23s men's competition against the Northern Rivers. Unsuccessful in the 16s and the 18s. Can they do it in the under 23s? Here's Madden, a dummy and going himself. Everyone's going to be looking for a try at this point, but it'd be great to see Shepardson to get over. And unfortunately, a knock on there from Derek Hay. He's been so good today, almost error-free, but he owns up to the error there, and it's going to be a scrum to pack down 10 metres out. 7.5 minutes to go, 44 points to 18, the scoreline. The try scorers so far for the Monaro Colts, the captain, Ryan McQueen, Tavito Roja, Tui Nauvai, Riley Thomas, Chris Hart, Derek Hay, a double to Cleve McGee. And Derek Hay's had a bit of a wild one with the boot here this afternoon. Missing 3 conversions. The South Coast Dragons trying to come up with something here. I think Ron Leopold, he's gone down with some sort of injury in back play. Hopefully he's all right. He's Daly. Now for the halfback in Varsola. Hit heavily there. And the referee still not called time off. Ingram getting ready with the interchange card in his hand. He is Liam Cassidy. Looking for a quick play the ball, a penalty, anything that they can get. Varsola now out for Green. Looking to spread the ball around the back line. Here's Scott. Looking for a kick inside, end over end towards the middle of the field. And, well, taken well there. Chris Hart, he's been sound out under the football all day. And the Colts at this point, 6 minutes to go. Definitely have wrapped up this one. And Greenwood, and here is a Roja to Inauvai, just so hard to bring down. Got light footwork for a big man. He runs the ball hard as well. Nice quick play the ball. That right shoe's been giving him trouble. Here is the opposite centre of Riley Thomas, helping up those forwards. It was Leopold who is headed back to the bench. McGee beats one and gets a penalty. Saw them offside. And hopefully the gods will reward him with a hat-trick, with another try. And the Colts looking to just get on the ball once again and reach that 50 mark. Just trying to soak up all the seconds that they can. A touch finder about 10 metres out from the line. Well, the Dragons haven't been bad with the football. They just haven't had a lot of possession. Monaro Colts dominating possession in the second half. A wild start. 2 great tries that we saw. Here's Patch. Caught a bit early, I thought, trying to get the offload away to Inauvai, and he's been tackled. Patch thought he scored, but he was tackled before he got over the line. So Greenwood a dummy half. Now out for Hay, for Ingram. Oh, boy, there's been some big shots. That one by Jack Kavanagh, the front rower. And look to have the numbers out to the right-hand side. They go short to Kai Madden. Try to hit and spin. Look like they're setting out to this left-hand side. Who are they going to go to? There's the kick from Hay. Ricocheted off a Dragon. Not played at, says the referee. Play on there with Ryan McQueen. The captain comes back towards the right-hand side. And not played at, so it was the last tackle. Greenwood now for Hay. Dribble kicks it out into touch. And 4 minutes to go. I think the Colts are comfortable with the position that they're in at the moment. They've scored enough points. And they're just going to try and get through the motions. And I think that they prepared well enough for the Northern Rivers side. We'll try and get the final score of that game before we go off the air. 44 points to nil was the score at 42 minutes gone in that game over North Coast. So definitely going to be a points frenzy in the under-23s country championships final for the men's. Streamed through Bar TV Sports and Facebook Live. The only way you can catch all the action here of the country championships for Country Rugby League. 3 minutes. What are we going to see here from the Dragons? Are they going to throw the football around? Daly's been really good out of dummy half, and Kavanagh's worked hard all day. There's Daly again. There's Varsola trying to beat defenders and get something to happen. Last tackle. Daly with just a midfield bomb. And, well, thank goodness we've seen a shepherd. Oh, not a shepherd, rather a falcon. But here's Ryan McQueen. Good long day of action. Two great games of football, enterprising play, a go son, Kyle Shepherdson. He hasn't scored a try. Has he got it down? The only one of the back five not to score today. Well, that changes right there. He gets over in the corner. Kyle Shepherdson, 48 points to 18. Smile brought to my face in the Monaro Colts as they move on to the final of the country championships to take on Northern Rivers. Great work there from the Colts. I dare say that's probably the last piece of action we'll see here today. Everyone from the back line, the back five getting tries. McQueen, Shepherdson, Roha Tui now by Thomas and Hart. From the Mirambula, Pambula Bulldogs. Shepherdson happy to get over the stripe.
No longer than normal, okay. Thanks.
So Derek Hay aiming for 6 from 9 today. He's 5 from 8. 66%. A lot of these second half conversions have been from out wide. It has been enterprising nonetheless. Right out on the touchline, he tried to hook it back in. It was impressive. But unfortunately, just away and just short of the uprights. 48 points to 18. Well, the Dragons looking for a short kickoff here. There's no tee. They're just going to go for the short kickoff here, and Derek Hay, how fitting, the man leading this team around for the Monaro Colts to end the game. The shaking of the hands between these two teams. And what an attacking game of rugby league we've seen here today. 66 points in total scored, 48 points to 18. We'll go through the try scorers once again. McQueen, the captain, Kyle Shepherdson, Tavito Roha Tui Nalvai, Riley Thomas, Chris Hart, Derek Hay getting over the stripe as well. A double to Cleve McGee. We didn't see that hat-trick. But Kyle Shepherdson, great to see him get over. All five of the back line to get over there. And Derek Hay, 5 from 9. Not so proficient with the boot. Maybe he'll clean up his goal kicking at training for their game against the Northern Rivers. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons, though, a great try to Corey Grigg that we saw in the stroke of half-time. Great offload from Cameron Scott, the fullback. Cameron Cornell, all the Camerons. Cameron Cornell got over as well, and Liam Cassidy from Collegians over Zach Green. Perfect with the boot, 3 from 3. So the Monaro Colts, like we said, the under-23s country championships will be decided. They win the Southern Pool, and the Northern Rivers, well, I'll try and see if we can see a full-time scoreline. I think that game has finished. It was 44 points to nil, with 42 minutes gone in that contest. An absolute good old-fashioned shellacking. I'm going to see the shaking of the hands there from the two teams there. There you go, full time 64 points to 12, so a bit of a closer second half, but the Monaro Colts will indeed go up against the Northern Rivers in the final of the Under-23s Country Championships men's venue. I don't think that's been decided yet, but wherever it is, we will bring you the action